Hello everyone, this is Metacross31, and today I want to show you a little project I've been working on recently, which I call the Skylords Ultimate Battle Simulator, or SUBS for short. And what this program is, it's basically a little tool which allows you to simulate the flow of power and void power during a game of Battleforge, either in PvE or PvP, but it's mostly thought to be for PvP purposes. And I've already made a post in the forums where I explained it. And today I want to show you a little video on how to actually use it. First of all, how to get this program. You have to go to my GitHub page, which is github.com/metacross31/subs. Or you can also just follow the link which is in the forum post. And in here, you just have to download the project. If you don't know how to do this, basically click on code, and the easiest way is to click on download zip. And save this file somewhere on your computer and unpack it. Or if you know how to use Git, you can just use this Git link and clone the repository to your PC. And in order to run this program, you are going to need Python, which you can get from python.org if you don't already have it. If you're using a Linux or Mac OS system, it's probably pre-installed. If you're using Windows, you might need to download it. But this is not going to be a tutorial on how to get Python. It's explained on the website, and you will find lots of tutorials about that in the internet. So instead, I just wanted to show you on how to use the battle simulator. If you downloaded the code, you will find a directory which looks like this. You have a copyright and a README file. Then you have a config folder and a source folder. Inside of the source folder are all of the files which you need to run the program. And then you also have this config folder, which I will talk about a bit more later. And in order to start the program, you have to go to the source folder and start the file main.py. And since I'm on a Linux machine, I'm going to use the terminal for that. So I'm going to type -3 and then source/main.py. And this is gonna open a window which looks like this. And in this window there's some stuff going on the upper left and lower left. You have these two sections, player 1 and player 2. And they contain some information about the state of the game of each of the players. So for example, right now, this is simulating a game of where player 1 has 100 power, 100 void power, 2 power wells, and player 2 has 100 power, 100 void power, and 2 power wells. And this toggle power flow is going to start the simulation. So if we click this, you see that both players are starting to get power out of their void power. So the void power is going down, the power is going up, and they also get power out of their wells. And then you have some more options over here. For here you see how much power they are getting every 2 seconds out of their void and out of their wells. This is going to be used in order to build and kick wells. For example, we could click on this button, and then this will take away 100 power from player 1 and give him another power well instead. And then over here on the right, we have this spell section and the units and building section. What this does, it's going to allow you to simulate the spawning and killing of units and casting of spells. So for example, if we say this was a PvP game, it would start by player 2 spawning a thread charger and player 1 also spawning a thread charger. They both run to the middle, and then some engagement starts. Player 1 is going to spawn some Forsaken, player 2 is gonna spawn 3 squads of Forsaken because player 1 already has taken this power well. And then we wait a little until player 2 has 25 power. And then now he can, for example, cast a Motivate, which is going to kill one of units. And the 25 power, which has been taken away in order to cast a Motivate, has already been added to his void, or 90% of it has been. And also the 90% of the power which was bound in the Forsaken has been given back to the void power. And now let's say, for example, that by doing this Motivate, he kicked the power well of player 1, so we can do this kick well. And you see the number of power wells goes down, but the void power doesn't change at all. And then maybe player 1 in turn can kill the threat charger. And so you see there's now less power bound in the army and more void power. And as you can see, this is basically all the information you can always see in the game: the void level, the power level, the amount of power wells, and the total value of the army added up. If you click on toggle power flow, this will stop the simulation, and so now you can analyze. For example, if we had a direction which I just explained during the game, now you can see, which player would have more power. You see player 1 would have 174 power plus 110 in the army, and player 2 would have 228 power plus 100 bound in the army, and so player 2 would probably be ahead. And yeah, this is the basic functionality of the program, and next I'm going to show you how you can change the default values which have been there from the beginning, the 100, 100, 2 and 0. You can do this by closing the program and going into the config folder and opening this file default.txt in your text editor. And here you see the default values that have been stored. The names of the players, their power levels, void power levels, number of power wells, and the power bound in their army. And for example, what we can now do is, or what the program was intended to do, is you can just open any replay that you like. For example, right here I have a replay between me and Carofex that we played a few days ago. And then what we can do is we can just look at what the standings in this game are, and then use them and enter them into the program, and then see how the game would develop if we just let the power flow. So, for example, right here, Carofex has 4 power wells and I have 3 power wells, so let's enter this into the file. So let's say this is me, and this is Carofex, and he has 4 power wells while I only have 3. And then we can look at the power levels. He has 21, I have 101. And the void power I have 346 and he has 204. 4 and 346, oh sorry. 204, 346. And then we also have power bound in units. He has 50 plus 120 is 170. And I have also 170. And if you changed the file according to this first line, power, then void, then wells, then army, you can just save it. And if you then open the simulator again, you will now see that it loaded the correct values which we've entered, and it already calculated how much power will be given back from the wells and the void. For example, here +7 and +4, and we can verify that by going into the game and seeing Carofex is getting +4, I'm getting +7. So it is being calculated correctly. And now we can just say, okay, let's start with the game and let it run. And then maybe he kills my 2 Storm Singers and I kill his Dark Elf Assassins. Then we would see how the void power would change for both of us, how the void power is flowing back, the power from the wells is flowing back. And then we could see what would happen if, for example, I would be taking wells, he would be taking wells, we would be kicking each other's wells. And then we, at any point, we could just stop the program and then add together all of the values for power, void power, and power bound and army in order to see who is ahead. And maybe in the future I will even add a label which tells the total power each player has at that point. But for now, that's all this program can do. I'm planning on adding some more functionality if you are interested in it. For example, right now you can only cast spells and build units and buildings with set power costs. So, for example, I've chosen these values for the spells because of Motivate, Curse of Oink, Eruption and Cold Snap, and Surge of Light. So you can't do every spell with the program right now. For example, a home soil would cost 40 power, and you can't do that right now. Same for the units and buildings. I've used 50 for archers, 60 for most swift units, 70 for example for burrowers, and 100 for skyfire drakes. But you, for example, you can't do simulate the nerfed shadow mages with 55 power costs. You can't simulate that as of right now. But I'm planning to add this in the future. Okay, so I hope you enjoy playing around with this little program, and maybe it's even useful for you. If you have any more questions, just leave them in the comments here on YouTube or on the forum post that I made. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.